video game settings that I pray every day I do not live in. Today, my friends, we're going to be talking about the Capital Wasteland from Fallout 3, one of my favorite games of all time. A hellish, dark, grotesque, and brutal place to be. I can be here all day giving you a laundry list of reasons why the Capital Wasteland is a traumatic nightmare to live in, but here are my top ones. The first being basic survival. The wasteland, to nobody's surprise, is immensely radiated. Any food supplies you find, any water you find, it's going to be radiated to hell. You're going to get radiation poisoning, you're just going to be sick, you're going to die. Now that we got the obvious out of the way, in the world of the Capital Wasteland, we have the Slavers. The Slavers are an infamous faction in the Capital Wasteland who basically love having slaves. What's very ironic is that the Slavers hail from a place called Paradise Falls. But there is nothing utopian about Paradise Falls because the Slavers abduct and kidnap lone wanderers like yourself and they turn you into slaves. They put a slave collar on your neck, and this slave collar will be used as the slaver's own personal GPS to know at all times where you're at. The slave collar also has a built-in microphone, so the slaver knows at all times what their slaves are saying. If one messes with the slave collar or even talks about escaping, all the slaver has to do is press a button and blow up the head of the enslaved. It's also a ticking time bomb, not just a GPS tracker. The Slavers are an insidious faction in the Capital Wasteland, so even if you're just trying to explore and find shelter, you better pray to God you don't run into Paradise Falls. Even if you don't run into slavers, you will inevitably run into super mutants, a race of beings that used to be human, but they became super mutants when they were infected by the FEV virus, the FEV virus, Forced Evolutionary Virus. The super mutants have very primal, barbaric ways of thinking. All they care to do is kill, cannibalize humans, and make sure that their species survives. How do they preserve their species? Well, I'm glad you asked. Similar to the slavers, they love kidnapping and abducting. Honestly, you're better off dead. You're better off going out on your shield in a firefight with a super mutant, because if not, they're going to kidnap you, take you to Vault 87, and turn you into one of these abominations. You see, the super mutants cannot produce offspring. Their genitalia is basically non-existent, so in order to preserve their species, they need to kidnap humans like yourself, lone wanderers like yourself, and infect them with their own virus to turn you into one of them. When you turn into a super mutant, you lose all sanity. You lose all identity. You become nothing but a mere brainless killing machine. And the longer you live as a super mutant, the more brainless you become. You will eventually succumb to the ultimate mutation, a gigantic super mutant behemoth like the one we see here. Nothing but a brainless killing machine of a monstrosity. Your only purpose is to abduct, kill, and cannibalize. That is all. And finally, even if you survive the abduction attempts of slavers and super mutants, you have to deal with your president, an evil artificial intelligence who is in command of the Enclave. What is the purpose of the Enclave? Well, the purpose of the Enclave is that they want to eradicate any radiated life. That means you. They only want a future where pure, clean, non-radiated humans exist. You will be vaporized on sight with their plasma rifles, plasma pistols, and their other gruesome methods of weaponry. They are basically the post-apocalyptic Third Reich. So, honestly, in the Capital Wasteland, death looms everywhere. The only choice you have is, how do you want to die? I know, it got dark real quick.